Good morning. I told this story before, but I'm gonna tell it again because I believe I have a better understanding. So there was this guy, he was a hunter, and he lived in Greek mythology. He was a great hunter, and women everywhere loved him. But his calling was hunting, and he was completely peaceful with just hunting. But one day he came upon a very still pond, and while walking by, he glanced at the pond, and he saw his own reflection, and everything changed. He thought, oh my gosh, I am the most beautiful thing alive. And from that point, things started going bad for him. The short version is that he keeps staring at his own reflection until he dies. And upon his corpse grew a flower called the narcissus. And his name was Narcissus. And I jokingly said that he's the first person that invented the selfie. For many of us, especially if you're listening to this message, you think, well, that's not me, I'm not a narcissist. But the point of this story really is the act of falling in love with oneself, falling in love with one's ego, is the ego. The ego is the narcissist. And once we put attachment on anything, whether it be our looks, our car, our fortune, even our children, that feeds the ego. Narcissus was perfectly peaceful. We were perfectly peaceful before the ego came in. Another story that obviously elaborates this is when Adam and Eve ate from the tree of good and bad. They were living in paradise until they did that, until they had the ego come in. The ego that said, this is good, this is bad. I like this, I don't like this. This is beautiful, this is not beautiful. That is the ego. That is the narcissist. So the true self that I keep talking about is the self before the ego. That is my search, and that is the truth.